Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I want to talk about a topic that was requested. Why do avoidants give you hope, is what they kind of word it like, and then they pull away. So, in other words, why does, let's say, a relationship where an avoidant, it does seem very promising and you feel hopeful and connected, but then soon after, it goes back to maybe something that you feel like is them going back or they're reverting or they don't care about you. And you almost feel like the rug was just pulled out from under you. Even if it's not that they're leaving, they're just pulling away. And so why does this happen? It's really important. So today I want to break it up into two pieces. Why it happens. So about 5, 6 points, whatever we have time for, about why this happens. And then I want to talk about what can you do, also what they can probably do as well if you both are watching this together. Why is this happening? So the first one is that they are slowly getting comfortable with seeing how they feel around you, with you, and their life with you involved. And they're not just getting more comfortable. It's almost like you're seeing their process in real time. And so you're kind of seeing what's going on in their mind. And the reason why I bring this up is it's pretty common where, because you're closer to them based on, they give you hope. You're closer to them than maybe you were before. And it almost feels like you're going back. Part of this is because you're close to them, you can see their process in their head a little more often because they're more vulnerable with you. They might not even realize this is what's happening either. And so you can see the back and forth internally showing up externally. And so it really doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your relationship. I almost want to say most avoidants will go through this stage a little bit, even when they marry you or fall in love with you. They still feel this way a little bit. And the main reason why is because they're battling their fear of loss of independence, if it's a dismissive avoidant, fear of betrayal, hurt, etc. If it's a fearful avoidance will have many fears. Dismissive avoidance, most of it will be like fear of autonomy, fear of being controlled. Fearful avoidance also, but also they will have more fears as well. And you will start seeing that the reason they have all of these fears is their deactivation and their trauma, their maladaptive strategies, their neglect that happened in childhood. But the real version of them underneath that, we all have a real version underneath our trauma, right? That person loves you. And so it's almost like there's a negotiation happening inwardly. It might not feel like that, but how can they still be themselves and their fears that they've built for so many years, their protection, they think it's a protection, without losing you? And so you'll see that hope that you feel. They got really close to you and they're kind of pulling away. They're just doing this. Usually it's going to process throughout and it's going to get better. If that there's no other triggers happening or triggers are minimal, typically they'll get out of this themselves. The next one is they are overwhelmed by their feelings for you. This is going to be even more common if the avoidant is pretty unhealed. And I'm going to explain how it looks in a couple versions based on things that I've seen with my consultation calls. With a dismissive avoidant, it's just going to be like very detached. And there's not going to be a very obvious fear, but it's going to be very detached. So a lot of times you might think they just don't like you. With a fearful avoidant, it's almost like literal fear. Like a lot of you guys have said some fearful avoidants that you've been in a relationship with or dating, etc. They literally like shut down or run, like they leave the room. Okay. And yes, that's true. I'm not trying to say that's a right behavior, but there's trauma involved. And so, yeah, they do behave like that. And so what's happening is the emotion that they're feeling is love and connection and etc. Because love is a lot of components, but feelings is one of them. What happens is that feeling is so overwhelming. They do exactly what they have been taught to do ever since they were younger. With fearful avoidant, a very heavy emotion, typically that means, okay, something bad's going to happen. And so that's why they run away. With a dismissive avoidant, okay, this is an emotion I can't control. It makes me look weak. Let me flatten it, which is why they look very bland. So there was a feeling originally. That's why they behave a certain way afterwards. If there was no feeling originally, they would not have a behavior afterwards, if that makes sense. So you triggered their feelings, but it's because they care about you. And so again, this is something they will have to process and work through, but we'll talk about what to do later in the video as well.